Sometimes it feels like it's all been done before. What could I say that we haven't heard before? Then I hear you tell me ideas take new life. When I see through your perspective, it's then I see the light. So let it shine, let it shine, let your light shine, let it shine, singing a song that's already been sung, becomes something new when I hear it through you. Words come to life when they breathe through your heart. I have new understanding when you play your part. So let it shine, let your light shine, let it shine, let it shine, let your light shine. Now it's your turn to write the music. It's your turn to sing the song. It's your turn to be the drummer. It's your turn to dance all night long. So let it shine, let your light shine, let it shine, let it shine, let your light shine, let it shine.
There is a group of us that meet on Sunday night at 7, and we're going through the Master Key System. Master Key System, basically very, very, very similar, if not exactly the same as the Science of Mind. The difference is, and what I like about this, it's building blocks. You know, he starts out, it was done as a correspondence course. So we started out with, here's week 1. And you got to study week 1, and then at the end he would say, you know, when you're done with that, then you get week 2. And so we're going to be building on this whole philosophy of the Master Key System every Sunday here. And it's not like maybe there's something like this out there that Ernest Holmes has done. I just didn't have that in my library. I happen to have this in my library, and it is so similar. So that is why we're using this, but I want you to know it is just like the Science of Mind. So what we're going to talk about, if you have been here a while before all of this new training came out, you know about our core concepts. There are 10 of them, and they talked about the universal core concept, which is God, and then each core concept is individualized as each and every one of us, because we are manifestations of God in form. And so as we are going into week 3, there's a lot of talk about remembering that our subconscious mind is the driving force where we create and manifest the world around us. What you see is what you get, kind of thing. What are your predominant thoughts? And so, and what feeds the subconscious mind is the conscious mind. So in God it was the I am, and then it would go into the law. In us it's the thought or the brain, and then it goes into the subconscious mind. And so just recently, I have come to realize, probably since I have been here doing Sunday service since March with a minimum people, we probably have always had 9 people in the building, and it's different. It's a different energy. And even though we got to open up today, it is also Father's Day, and I know a lot of people are like, I don't want to go to church if I have to wear a mask. You know, to them. And there are a lot of centers that are choosing not to open because if people don't want to wear masks, they don't want to run the risk. And for me, it was like, we can be both and. You know, quite frankly, we were both and before COVID-19 ever hit. We always had Facebook Live. We always, you know, I think, almost since the time I got here. So it's nothing new for us. So to be able to do both is magnificent. What I came to realize is there is this place in ministry where they say that a minister should always be vision casting, should always be looking beyond what is. And that is a perplexing place to be, because to me, if I'm always looking beyond what is, I'm forgetting to be grateful for what is. And so I have kind of reeled in my spiritual practice of starting with, what am I grateful for about this community? Because I think to really own who we are as a community, so that that is the predominant thought. Instead of the predominant thought being we have to grow, instead of the predominant thought being we need more money, what if the predominant thought was, what are we good at? What are we as a community? Why do people come here? Why do people spend their Sunday morning either watching live on Facebook Live or coming in afterwards and watching it on their own time? What is that? And I'm asking that question because it's not just up to me. You know, the Board of Trustees says, you know, we are a home for the soul, which to me, that's powerful, right? Just that statement alone is powerful. Someplace where when you walk in, there is that breath that you take. How many of you here, when you first walked in to your first Science of Mind church, your whole body went, I'm home, right? Your soul knows. So that is a perfect sentence for our mission statement, I am home. And so one of the things, because I had no idea that the term law of attraction went all the way back to Hanel when he wrote this book, and however he uses the term. And so if we want to create a community where souls feel like they are at home, that's what we should focus on, right? We should focus on that as our mantra. We're a place where souls feel at home. And some people may go, I don't get that. What does that mean? Because not everybody has been to a Science of Mind church, right? Not everybody might believe that you have a soul that lives forever and ever. And so we also have to back up a minute and say, you know, it's a place where everybody's welcome. That if you come here, regardless of who you are, regardless of who you love, regardless of what religion you have belonged to, will belong to, it doesn't matter. You're going to be welcome here, because Genesis is love and Genesis is home. And so that is part of the law of attraction. When we become that, what are we going to attract to us? We're going to attract to us people that know that already, and this is going to be their like-minded place. We are also going to attract to us people that are searching for a place to belong. Do you know that Seattle is one of the largest unchurched cities in the United States, if not the largest unchurched city, where people are just like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. And why don't they want to do that? Because, you know, I think there's a fear. And so for us to let people know that we're different. You know, there are not a big set of rules that they have to follow. Now, we do have what we believe, and some people may say that's dogma. You know, you've got these what we believe statements. However, I would venture to say that the great thing about Ernest Holmes is you don't have to believe any of that to be welcome here. You don't have to believe any of that. And so what are your mental resources? What is your subconscious mind attracting to you? And so what is it that you believe you really desire in your life? So here's the thing. There are probably people out there, and their life, you know, I could look at my life and my life is perfect. I've got a great relationship. I have got an amazing job. I have a beautiful home. You know, my life is good. Do I want more? Absolutely. Is that selfish? No. I'm not taking away from anybody by me getting my good, right? My good is my God. And so I could have tons of stuff, and you could too. And I think part of my ministry, what I have come to realize is part of it is to help people find that voice within them that says, no, this is who I am. This is who I want to be. Because if you have a life where you know that you're in struggle, then I would venture to say probably your predominant thoughts are about struggle. Because the law is always working. Always working. I struggled. I didn't know about the law. I just struggled because I didn't know how else to live my life. And struggle showed up for me over and over and over again. Anybody else been there? Done that? Wrote the song, read the book, signed their name, right? And yet each one of us has the capacity to change that. Every single one of us. God does not shortchange you to give Bernie more good. Doesn't work that way. Every single one of you can have what your heart desires. And my ministry now is to awaken people to that good. And I will tell you, sometimes people may say that I'm, no bullshit, I guess. I was going to say unkind. I don't think I'm ever unkind. However, I don't pull any punches. If you sit with me and I talk to you about things that, I've listened to you and I've listened to you and I will mimic back to you what you've said and you keep saying it, or I make suggestions and you don't want to go there, I will say, then why is your life working for you the way it is right now? And that is hard for people to grasp because they are so enmeshed in their discomfort or their struggle or their unsatisfaction. They don't want to look at what their life might look like if that disappeared, because then who would they be? You ever thought about that? Who would they be if you stripped away all the struggle, if you stripped away all the victimhood, if you stripped away all the I can'ts? Who would they be? Have you ever sat and really thought, if you strip away, I'm a woman. If you strip away, I'm Gayle Dillon. If you strip away, I'm a minister. If you strip away, I'm Paul Dillon's wife. If you strip away, I'm Jesse and Jake's mother. I'm the grandmother of 8 grandchildren. If you strip all that away, what am I?
Awesome.
Well, thank you. Awesome. I like that. That wasn't the word I was looking for. Try again. God informed. Who said that? There you go, Laura. She listens. I love that. You're God informed, every single one of you. And yet we put on these clothing, if you will, as Ernest Holmes talked about it. When we transition into the next life, he talked about eloquently saying, you step out of this clothing, of this human shell, back into that reality of oneness. And so we have, through our life, decided different things about ourselves based on what we have been told by other people. And if we get told enough, it becomes a belief. And we're walking around, we don't even know we have that belief. And yet, has anybody other than me been married more than once? And maybe up until recently, yeah, those weren't really the best thing going? Yeah, right? Was it the partner's fault? No. We'd like to blame them, wouldn't we? Oh, that would be so easy. And yet, we couldn't have... yeah, Kyle, I love that. Kyle raised up 3 fingers. We all have stories about things that, we go, how did that happen again? How did I attract that into my life again? How did that happen again? And it happens because your subconscious mind is sending off a vibration to the universe that says, more please. All of the time. More please. It doesn't judge. It doesn't say, seriously, you might want to rethink that. No, just more please. That's all the subconscious mind does. Now, the conscious mind might scream at you, are you kidding me? But, we're thinking, stay out of my way, right? Let me do this. And so I invite you, and I have said this before, I invite you, if you are struggling with a place in your life, I invite you, first of all, to sit down and write what it is you want that is different than that. And it's easy for us to write down what we don't like about our life, isn't it? If somebody says to you, what is it you don't like about your life? I bet you'd all stand up and start chattering at me at once, because you all know. When I say to somebody, what's the good you want in your life? What is it that you want in your life? Most people, it gets stuck. Okay, you two already have that, so let's move beyond. You got the perfect partners. Bernie and Courtney were pointing to each other, for those of you that couldn't see them. And so it's, it's like, what do I want? And if you can't say it out loud, start with what you don't want. What's the opposite of that? That's where I had to start a long time ago. This is what I don't want. I had a friend who said to me, I said, I am afraid, this was before I met Paul, I am afraid to date because I absolutely do not want to attract that again in my life. And she said, write down everything you want. And I said, I have no idea. I have no idea what I want. And she said, then do this. Look at people you admire and write down the qualities in them that you like. Look at relationships and how they treat each other and what you like about that relationship. You don't have to write down the people's name. They don't have anything to do with this. It's just when you see two people that are really in love and respect each other, write down those qualities. That's what I want. And I did. And then Mr. Dillon showed up. Yeah. And so you can do that in any area of your life. If you want more money, then don't be afraid to say, I want more money. Why would you limit an unlimited supply of abundance in your life? Why would you do that? Did any of you intentionally, when you were birthed, said, okay, I'll take a vow of poverty? Anybody, right? And yet, what have we been taught since we were young? Life is a struggle. Work is hard. Relationships suck. Right? Those are things that are in the collective consciousness of humanity. And the only way to counter that is you have to start to talk to your own inner voice. You have to start to tell your subconscious mind, I'm worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy of the most fabulous relationship this planet could give me. And I will show up and be everything I expect in that person. That's the other side of this. You can't show up and be angry all the time and expect you're going to attract somebody that is loving. You might, but eventually they're going to go away. Or they might have seemed loving, and then when you really got to know each other, they're probably as angry as you are. So, really start to think about, because I think this is important. If we teach this, nobody in this community should struggle, right? If we really live this philosophy, why are we struggling? I know. I don't have an answer to that question because we shouldn't be. And yet, I can't say that I don't struggle sometimes. Because, like all of you, I have had a lifetime of stories I have told myself about myself. A lifetime of stories that have told me I can't, I shouldn't, you're too loud, you're too boisterous, you're too this, you're too that. And it's like, it's, I was going to say peeling back an onion, and we could do that, except it makes me cry. So it's like a lotus flower that opens. In meditation, they talk about your heart opening up like a lotus flower to accept all the good. So where is it that your subconscious mind is feeding the divine information about you that is no longer true? And here's the thing. Me, any practitioner or minister here can help you walk through that. However, the truth is, we can't do the work for you. I wish I could. I wish I had a magic wand. I really do. And that's not how this happens. I have always thought to myself, what we teach here is so easy. It is so easy. And it is probably the most difficult practice you will ever take on in your life, because it is easier to think that you're not good enough than to claim you're good. It is easier to struggle and tell everybody about your struggles than to say, nope, I'm happy. I am happy. I want you to be happy too, but I'm not going to struggle with you just to make you feel comfortable. And I don't think that's harsh. I think that's stepping into our reality. Who are you? What is it that you want? And I can't name that for you either. But I'm here for this community to step into who it's come here to be. And to me, it is God is love, but it's more than that. We are a community that is a home for the soul. We are a community that I believe teaches this philosophy, and if we're going to teach it, we should live it. You know, I said it before during the announcements, and I will say it again. You need to take Reverend Bernie's class. Why? Because it's called mental equivalence. What do you think it's about? It's about what I'm talking about right now. It's about if your life is not looking exactly like you want it to look, take this class. And Bernie will walk you through with that class on how to shift your mental equivalent. How many of you are at a place of your life and you think, that's good, I'm good. I'm not gonna ask for any more because that would be selfish. I'm good. Stop it. You deserve more. More than that, God deserves more out of you, and this community and the world deserves more than that out of you. We aren't here just to go, okay, I'm good. Reverend Susie, who was my mentor, used to say, when she got all of this, poof, she'd be gone. She'd be done. So don't settle. Do not settle. God, I don't know what happened to that word. It got stuck in my mouth. Don't settle. It is important for you to live your best life possible. So what does that look like? So you don't want to focus on what you don't want. And you have to believe that what you want is possible. Right? So there is a gift I was given by a friend, because how many of you have said affirmations like, I'm a multimillionaire, and your brain immediately goes, yeah, no, you're not. Come on, let's do a reality check. Have you looked at your bank account yet? I'm in the perfect happy relationship. Yeah? Well, where's your partner? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Right? Your brain is not stupid. However, there is a trick to feed your subconscious mind a new way of being. What if I'm a multimillionaire? Because here's the thing about our brain and our subconscious mind. If you put what if in front of any of your affirmations, it's like, I don't know. What if? What if I had the perfect relationship? I do, thank you very much. What if I was a multimillionaire? What if? I don't know. What if? I really am happy, so it's hard for me to like, what's next? More, please. That's what I love about the affirmation that I use a lot at the end of practitioner meetings when they say, what's your prayer request? I love my life. Thank you, God. More, please. Because I believe that I am here to do more. I am here to do more as a minister. I am here to do more as a wife. I am here to do more as a mother. I am here to do more as a grandmother. And if I stop just because it's okay, I'm not being my best person ever. And that's not only bad for me, that's bad for everybody I come in contact with. And if God could get disappointed, it might be. It doesn't, just so you know. God's just love, so don't go, oh my God, she said God's going to be disappointed in me. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. God will never be disappointed. However, think about it. It said each one of us gets to be an individualized essence of it in form on this planet. Think about that. Think about the power, the presence, the love, the magnificence, the wisdom that is God lives in you already. How big are you playing? And if you're not, why not? And if it's fear, one of the things that it says in week 3 is he believed that fear did the most damage to the human spirit than any other thing on the planet. If you have fear, you will stop in your tracks. And to remember, most of the fear we have isn't true. And we are not wrestling lions or tigers anymore. But there is a part of our brain that will go into that flight or fight mode because we're fearful. For instance, when we had the outside service and Kyle started to sing and I started to sing with him and Kyle didn't shut off my mic. And normally what I would have done is I would have done one of these and taken it off and thought, I'm going to kill him later. And he just looked at me. His eyes were all aglow. You could tell he was laughing as he was singing. And I thought, okay. And I sang with him. And I will say that probably had a lot to do with singing with my husband. And I don't know that if I ever would have done that when all of you were here. But I had the nerve to do it in front of a camera with 9 people here. Because I was afraid. And I'm not, right? Because fear stops you. It doesn't say, okay, go ahead and try that, and I'll just sit back here and no, it says, hey, don't do that. People are going to laugh at you. Don't do that. Remember when your mom said that when you sang in 2nd grade and you got off the stage and you were so proud and the first thing she said to you was, you're the only child I could hear. It was like she took a dagger and stabbed it right through my heart. Now, if I go back and look at that, it might not have been meant the way I took it. She might have meant, oh, Gayle, I'm so proud of you. I could hear you, and I couldn't hear any of the other children. However, that is not what I heard as a 2nd grader, and I never asked, gee, Mom, what do you mean by that? I just built into my way of being that when I sang it was too loud and obviously it must have been unpleasant. And you know what would happen when I sing around people? Sometimes people would look at me because I have a voice that carries. And so it just kept replaying because my subconscious mind kept saying, oh, let's prove to her that she's too loud. Let's prove to her that she has built this thing in her head that she can't sing. Let's just keep proving that to her. That's fear. And I would venture to say everybody has something that they're fearful of. And I promise you this also, because the universe is funny this way. You're going to walk through a fear and you're going to think, yay. And another one's going to pop up. I promise you. A deeper seated one that you thought, oh, I'm never going to have to deal with that. It's going to rise to the top because we're always growing. Always. Always growing. And so I just invite you all to really think about what your life looks like. Is it perfect? Great. Then just say more, please. Are there things that you want to change? And if they are, then start writing that down. Figure out affirmations. Talk to a practitioner or minister. Do anything that will light you up to be the person you're here to be. Because that's my ministry, is to light people up. To really let people realize you're perfect, whole, and complete. Be that bold person that your mom or your dad or your teacher said, yeah, you're stupid. You can't do this, you can't do that. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And so I've got friends that have moved through fear of dyslexia. And, personally, I couldn't be prouder of them. And yet I know every time they read, there is that breath that they have to take that says, okay, I'm going to do this. And they do. And I'm really proud of them every time they do. And sometimes it is golden. And sometimes you can hear the voice catch, and it might be a little bit of a struggle. Does it make me less proud? No. That makes me more proud. Why? Because they do it, they continue on, and they do it again. And they do it again. And they do it again. Why? Because I believe the more they do it, the better they're going to be at it. That is how this works. So, that's what I invite you to do. Figure out what it is, who you want to be, how you want to be it. Call me, text me, write an email to me, say, I want to start doing this. What's up? The first thing I'm probably going to say is, sign up for Bernie's class. Starts on Tuesday. 2 hours long. If you want to make your life better, 2 hours a week for 5 weeks is nothing. Nothing. And so I invite you to do that with Bernie. Let's pray. So standing here knowing the perfection that is God as me, that power, that presence, that one life that is the life of God, it is me, it is all of you, it is all things everywhere. And the thing about it is it never goes away. It never falters. Whether I recognize it and stand in it and say yes, or whether I pretend like it doesn't exist, or maybe I don't know it exists, it's always there, available. And it is connected to me because I am part of it. I am an individualized, magnificent piece of that whole that cannot exist without me, just like I can't exist without it. We are part and parcel together. And so knowing that, I allow myself to take time during the day to sit and to be present with that which within me that has always been, will always be, and is right here and right now. And where there are falsehoods in my beliefs, or where there are stories that I have told myself, I can either just let them go, surrender them, and be done, or I can bring them up and look at them and say, I'm going to heal this. I'm going to start a new groove of the way I think about who I am and how my life should be. I am a perfect partner. I am a wonderful, loving mother. I am abundant beyond my belief. I am the good that God is. Anything you can say that is positive, say it over and over and over again until your conscious mind says, oh, this is a habit, I believe that. And your subconscious mind accepts it as true. And that will feed your reality, and that will change the world around you. So that is what I know for myself. That is what I know for all of you. And I just say thank you, God. Thank you for this time, this place, this community. How blessed we are to know and to love and to be present for each other, whether it be in the house or whether it be via Facebook Live. It doesn't matter. It's all good. It's all energy. We are all connected because we are all one. So I release these words into that field of infinite possibilities, knowing that as it is released, it is pressed down and acted upon by that divine presence that says yes to me and to all of you. We let go, we let God, and together we say, and so it is. Namaste. Please welcome back to the stage Miss Christine S. Young.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I sat quietly guess that I forgot I had a choice. I let you push me past that breaking point. I stood for nothing, so I fell for everything. You held me down, but I got up, already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up. Get ready, 'cause I've had enough. I see it all, I see it now. I've got the eye of a tiger, a fighter, dancing through the fire. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. Now I'm floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. I earned my stripes. I went from zero to my own hero. You held me down, but I got up. Get ready, 'cause I've had enough.